Welcome back to Hidden Power. This is a Pokemon podcast. We finally have a release date for the Indigo Disc. Today we're going to discuss everything we can expect to see in the Indigo Disc. We also have some insider information about the Switch 2, its release date, and what kind of Pokemon game we can expect to see at the end of 2024 and beyond. My name is Dusty Go-Goat. I'm also with the Lumios Post.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And Soul Silver Art.
What's up? I missed the memo, apparently.
Yeah, it's November 7th right now, if you're listening a little bit later. I'm wearing this in solidarity, this Christmas, the Santa hat in solidarity to Lumi, because he thinks it's December 24th. It's Christmas Eve right now.
I don't think it's December 24th. I think it's November, and thus time to celebrate Christmas.
Dude, I don't know how long I'm gonna wear this hat, but it's shimmery, which I kind of like.
It is very shimmery.
Yeah, maybe
you're a shiny Dusty Go-Go.
Is there some like Christmas themed, some winter? There's definitely winter Pokemon music that I can use for the intro. I might I might do that.
One of the snow towns where it's got the little like jingle to it. Yeah.
The Indigo Disc. Hidden Treasure. This is the longest DLC name of all time.
I know, bro.
The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero, Part 2, the Indigo Disc.
You're telling me I have to type this out like so many times.
Actually, Dusty, you're wrong. It's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Pokemon Scarlet
That's true.
and Pokemon Violet DLC, the Hidden Treasure of Area
Gen 9
Zero,
DLC.
Part 2, the Indigo Disc.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
DLC.
And then and the new thing is scheduled to release on December 14th, 2023. We found that out last week. Woo! How do you guys feel about that? Because this is like, that will be Christmas.
That's about what I expected.
Pretty much. But I was getting scared there for a minute. I was definitely getting scared.
Yeah.
I don't know if that other episode went up already, I'm sure. But,
yeah.
You know, it was like, if we don't get it like this week or the next week, like, I don't know. I don't know when we're going to get
It's weird that they didn't even like give a trailer, though. Why did they not give a trailer?
I don't think that we're going to get a trailer.
What do you mean? For the next month, they're going to give us a trailer.
I don't think. I think the only thing. What?
They have to promote the new game.
Ahead.
They have a new physical product.
My thing is, the only thing I think that they will do is do like a recap trailer where it's just like a few things, like just scenes that we've already seen before, or just like, you know, like little tiny new scenes, but nothing like, no reveals or anything like that. Just like a hype trailer that has nothing to do with it. That's my opinion. And it'll probably be like the end of November.
What do you think, Lumi?
Yeah. I guess I feel the same thing. I told y'all in our little group chat texting that we do, that next Tuesday. Right now we're recording on the 7th, so 1 week from today is 11/14. It's Tuesday. It's a day that they in the past have dropped trailers, and that would also mark exactly 1 month until the Indigo Disc, 30 days.
That would make sense.
So that would be a good time to drop one.
Sure.
I think the whole reason that they dropped the release date for it when they did without a trailer was just because they revealed the release date on the 2nd of November. On the 3rd of November, you could now in stores buy the physical copy of Scarlet Violet with the DLC. So I think it was like a thing of there's official word on when the next one coming, and we're not selling a product where like they literally don't know when they'll get it.
It might have been a legal thing, right? It's like you can't
honestly,
sell
maybe
something that isn't out. Like,
and even if it's
to know
not
when it's gonna release.
Right. I mean, even if it's not a legal thing in our country, it could be in one country, and so it's like a thing of, well, if we want to hypothetically release it in Germany, we got to reveal the release date there, and it's a DLC, so we got to reveal it everywhere.
That's a good point. The flip side of that is that confirms that they will release it, whether it's finished or not.
Yeah.
Because we kind of wondered, like, are they delaying it because they need more time? Could they delay it into January? That was a big part of the discussion.
I do think
we think they did delay it.
Yeah, I think they did delay it, especially because the Teal Mask had so many summer themes, and Blueberry Academy has, like back-to-school themes. I imagine it was supposed to be same release schedule as Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra.
Interesting, yeah, that makes sense.
Now I will say, just two things. First off, obviously we're getting into some leak territory today.
Yeah, there's gonna be leaks today.
So there's y'all's leak warning.
No
but
story spoilers.
No story spoilers now. We ain't doing that.
We'll try to avoid them because there are a lot of them. Just so you know, there's a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know about them. That's another thing. So
yeah.
I've personally not been like posting a lot of the story spoilers because I just,
Yeah.
People don't really want to know, but
Ku did say, someone asked, do you know if and when another trailer will come out? And Ku said, we'll tease when it's around the corner.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just him saying, I'll get word and say, or if that's him saying, I know one's coming, but I'll tell you about it when it's closer.
Sure.
Now, I will also say, too, we keep giving out some false information today. We keep saying that the release date of the Indigo Disc is December 14th.
True.
And it actually is not, depending on where you are.
Okay.
Because the American website actually says December 13th. So, similar to what happened with the Teal Mask. Teal Mask dropped September 13th, but actually came out like 9 o'clock September 12th for the US.
Well, that's fun.
Or EST, which is our time, R3.
Sure.
But
that's fun.
We're getting it early.
I am reading off of Wikipedia or Bulbapedia, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
It's weird how time works, I'm just going to say, because we are getting it early for us.
But it's like,
but it's the same time for
the same
they are
time.
waiting the same amount of hours.
But they're not really they are waiting the same exact amount of hours, but their day it's on the next day. So it's like they had to wait a whole day.
They're sleeping
really.
right now, right?
Yeah, they should be getting to sleeping.
Now, I do, I mean, it's like in Japan, it's 13 hours ahead. It's 2 in the morning for them now, because it's 1 o'clock for us in the afternoon. But I will say, I wonder, because with Teal Mask, like I said, it technically dropped on the 12th for us, us East Coast boys. It dropped at 9 o'clock. But they still said September 13th. This time, they're saying December 13th. So it makes me wonder if it's dropping even a little earlier than that.
Yeah, interesting.
Maybe.
Listen, all I care about is we're getting it around that
sir.
time. I probably won't even play it exactly when it comes out, so I don't really care that much. I'll probably.
I don't think I'm.
Bloomy will.
No, I'm
gonna play like the first few little bit of time.
Yeah.
But
I had a really good time stretching out my playthrough of the Teal Mask, so I'm looking forward to doing a similar thing. I'll probably live stream it. It can kind of be a community event. I'm looking forward to that quite a bit. Okay, so there's a lot of leaks.
You should, if you live stream, we should battle.
We should
on your live stream.
That would be fun. That would be fun. So there's a lot of leaks. Yeah, you should hold me to that, Lumi, please.
I will if I remember. I get so caught up in playing the game.
I know.
You know?
True. So there is a lot of leaks, and I don't really know how to review this without being redundant. What spurred me to want to discuss this is that you guys had mentioned some things in some previous podcasts that actually were a surprise to me, right? I do keep up with the real current things, but as I've just recently, I don't really pay attention to a lot of like the day-to-day leaks in the same way as I used to. So I would love for you guys to explain to me. I think we all know what Pokemon are going to be in the game, but there are going to be new forms. There's going to be new abilities, new types. Well, I guess there is going to be a 19th type, but there's going to be all these little things that have to do with the Pokemon that I'm really curious about.
Well, for what it's worth,
we can do some theory crafting.
Bit of new information we kind of got on the +1 Pokemon, the mythical, if you will.
Sure.
So I guess we'll begin with that.
Yeah. So here, let me just frame up. I'm sure you guys all know, right? The new Pokemon we're gonna get, Terrapagos. It's got a terrestrial form. We were gonna get Archaludon. We're probably gonna get a Diplin evolution. That's kind of.
We are. It's in coding.
Okay. So that's great.
Diplin is coded to evolve.
And then we have the 4 new.
They did it to themselves.
Yeah, we've got the 4 new legendary Paradox Pokemon: Raging Bolt, Iron Crown, the Entei Paradox, in the Terrakion Paradox, and I think then that would queue up you for whatever we're going to talk about next.
Well, then we have who we have all affectionately named Dokutaro.
Yes.
Who is the 4th Loyal 3 member, the master of the Loyal 3, whatever you want to call him. I think we're settling on Poison Ghost being its typing. But then there is, because when Ku first teased the amount of Pokemon, he said however many in Teal Mask, then he put +8 in Indigo Disc,
so
and then he put +1. And obviously that had a lot of people wondering,
What is the
Ku
plus
has
one?
now talked about how there will be features of the DLC that will be locked that they're saving for later.
Yeah.
So so that it can. And by the way, I immediately, when I saw him say this, I saw a bunch of people go to like, "Oh, great, Game Freak's releasing an unfinished." No, this is intentional. They are wanting to keep the game's longevity.
I was just
right.
like, what are people saying?
Yeah.
It's intentional. It's not unfinished.
Well, what's funny too is like it's lose-lose for Game Freak, right? If they release all of it at once, well then in March of next year, everyone's gonna go, well, I've already finished the Indigo disc and I'm bored. There's nothing to do. But they do it this way, and everyone's so it's unfinished then.
Yeah, it's like Gen 10 comes out and they go, wow, this is unfinished. It should have been out in Gen 4.
Right. And just like people are saying, like the DLC, they're like, they're taking part of the game and making me pay for it. You mean like every game with DLC ever?
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's kind of what this is. And I mean, the thing is, but we've already paid for it, so it's not like it's not really paywalled. Like we paid for the DLC, the whole thing. Right. If they stretch it out, it's not like a problem.
If anything, it's a good thing. It's cool to me that there's going to be Scarlet and Violet stuff next year.
Yeah, I'm excited. I really am looking forward to it.
This +1 Pokemon, people kind of figured was a mythical. And obviously this is subjective because this is coming from a person's opinion. But someone asked, hey, do you like the mythical? And Ku said yes. And they said, can you hint or share if it's a Coolmon or a Cutemon? It's been a while since we had a Cutemon mythical. So think like Coolmon is Deoxys, Cutemon is Jirachi. And Ku said
those are both
cute.
great Pokemon.
Yeah. Ku said cute.
Cute.
So
I'll take cute.
Hypothetically, this is me too. It's been
but
like
cute
the
can
person
still be
said.
evil.
It's been a while since we've had a Cutemon.
I'm thinking of Hoopa, right?
Sure.
Cute Pokemon, devious
honestly,
nature.
I wouldn't mind if it's like a Celebi, Manaphy, Jirachi situation. We haven't had one of those in a long time.
Soul doesn't say much here.
Soul, say something.
What am I gonna say? I'm not a fan of those 2 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you had info that you could
No,
share.
Yes, that too, but also.
Can you let me know, please? What can you tell us?
There's a lizard on my window right now.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say there's a lizard.
Yeah,
I thought he was gonna say there's a lizard Pokemon.
No, bro, if there was a lizard Pokemon, I'd be like freaking out.
Oh, man.
Dippling. But there's like a lizard. He's so cute, just like on my window right.
Take a picture of it. Send a take it with your phone.
I can't.
His phone is his webcam.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
it's
true.
my camera.
Okay.
But this is a big lizard. I want to like catch it and be
spin your phone around.
Is it a basilisk?
I want to see it.
Oh, he's gone. Never mind. Too bad.
All right. So
he vanished.
Nice diversion from
Dokitaro,
giving us your info.
What's the story behind this, right? For those unfamiliar, right? The story is that this is likely to be it's going to tie in somehow to the Loyal 3, possibly Kieran's story.
I believe Ku actually implied that it's not a part of the main story. It's like a side thing.
Oh, that's cool. I usually like those better.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it can't like
like it could still appear because I still think they're gonna tie it to Kieran somehow.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it can't affect things that are happening in the main story, but it's not like what he was saying is it's not the like main antagonist or like bad guy that does everything, that causes everything kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, at least that's what I got from it. He was just like, you can finish. Yeah, he said you can finish the DLC without having anything to do with Dokutaro.
Yeah, I think that's about right. Like, I mean, they can just kind of explain like. Because the big theory has been, like, Kieran's been, like, kind of influenced by it now. Yeah. So, like, they could easily just say, Kieran's been influenced by some strange Pokemon. And then you have a side plot where you can go get, that's optional, where you can go get that other Pokemon. Kind of like the Cresselia thing and Diamond and Pearl, where, like, it clearly hints at Darkrai, and Darkrai's clearly at play.
Yeah.
But it's actually a separate story, and you don't get it in that plot.
That's cool. I mean, that's good for us, right? To just continue to theorize. So, yeah. So, what about Terrapagos? What do we know about Terrapagos? What do we know about Terrapagos? I'm trying to be better.
Not much, to be honest. I'm trying to be better.
That's good.
I mean, there's not much more. You can see it a lot in the anime right now, and it's a cute little fella.
Tell me what it is. There's the base form of Terrapagos, which is the little tiny
normal
baby.
form. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we thought was going to be actually what it is, which the type of Terrapagos that's on the front cover of the DLC is actually its terastallization form.
Yeah.
Right?
It says
Terastallized.
terrestrial form.
Yeah.
And so we're also predicting that there's going to be some other additional form that it undergoes, similar to a Eternatus or Eternamax Eternatus or Ultra Necrozma. And
That's what Ku's been hinting at. Yeah.
Okay, so Ku has been
Seems
hinting at
that
that.
way. Yeah, it seems that way.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, these are all like they're not direct. Like Ku did not like outright say, "Oh yeah, Terrapagos is going to have a form beyond that." These are all interpretations of hints. So
yeah, people really should like think about that more when they read these things, because I've seen so many people just post things like, "This is happening." Yeah, maybe not like what you think, maybe not like what you're saying.
Yeah, that's how the disappointment.
It's rare when Ku just says something directly. So
he has been a little more direct, and he's been posting like literally every day. It's just
he
so
has.
you know, like
He's
it
been
is
posting,
daily,
like, every night. Yeah.
But you guys feel like these are accurate predictions though?
Yeah, I mean
most
that it's in the right idea. Let's say, you know,
Okay.
I don't think that everyone's gonna get everything spot on, but we'll see.
Yeah, one thing he
Yeah.
teased that's kind of interesting. You know, we like to talk about beta Pokemon. I feel like we mention a beta Pokemon every episode, and in a way, we kind of know our first beta Pokemon of the DLC. Ku said that a Mightiest Pokemon was supposed to get a Terrestrial state, but that has now been scrapped due to technical difficulties.
A what Pokemon?
I'm assuming he said a Mightiest Pokemon.
What does that mean?
I am assuming that is in
Mightiest
reference. This is again interpretation, but I am assuming that is in reference to the raids for the Pokemon with the Mightiest mark.
Yes.
So that'd be a lot of starters, Pikachu. And
so
I
they
think
were supposed to get
Mewtwo.
terastallization forms?
One of them was supposed to and is not getting it. Now there may be more that do get it, and there may be none that get it.
Yeah.
But there was one of those Pokemon, we don't know which, was supposed to get one, but due to technical difficulties, they had to scrap it.
Interesting.
Whatever that means. But yeah, no, he said a former Mightiest Pokemon. So
that'd be Charizard, Pikachu, Mewtwo. You got Typhlosion.
Mew, technically.
Yeah, that's true. You got Typhlosion, Samurott, Chestnut, Fennekin, Delphox.
Pretty much every starter that's in the game right now.
Okay. I mean, come on.
Except for the Sinnoh ones.
So if we were to predict which one of those it would have been, I mean, come on, Charizard?
See, no, actually though, hear me out. Hear me out. This is scrap. I don't think Game Freak would scrap a Charizard form. If there's a Charizard form, it's still in. I think this is Greninja.
True.
You think
I
so?
think this is Greninja.
Greninja would make sense.
An Ash Greninja reference.
They got rid of Ash Greninja, so it's like
that's interesting.
We should give him another form. To me,
it might be easier to scrap that too, because it's like, well, we can't make it work, and you know what? We're not even using that anime anymore.
I feel like that actually makes a lot of sense. I feel like though, they're not going to single out just like that's so random. I feel like
they're not going to single out Greninja. You mean like they did with Ash Greninja?
But versus Pikachu.
Oh man.
Yeah, just the thing with Pikachu is, I mean, they could always change this, but you know, I feel like it'd be more likely to be a fully evolved Pokemon getting something.
Yeah. Well,
this is what I'll say about this. I think I have my whole own big theory on it. Some people don't think that this is Mightiest Mark. First of all, they just think like a former strong, like the strongest Pokemon, whatever.
Okay.
Was gonna get a Terrestrial form, and now it got cut for some reason. For me, I think it's related to his like tweet about it was like an April Fool's tweet with all of the ones that he posted, like the Mightiest Mark ones. Do you remember it at all?
Yes,
it had like a list of them, and it was Charizard, Pikachu.
Oh yeah.
Cinderace, Decidueye, Samurott, and maybe one other one that I'm forgetting, but my brain. Anyway, so I think that it was Pikachu personally. I think it was Pikachu because this goes into that whole surfing thing.
Oh, true, because it could be water type.
Yeah. So when
cool.
Ku was asked if there's a terrestrial form, this was a month before he said this. He said someone asked him if there was a terrestrial form, like what could it be, and he posted the little surfing guy. So that could be Golden Go or Surfing Pikachu. For me, it's Surfing Pikachu, and that was a month before, and now he knows that Surfing Pikachu got cut. So he's probably like, oh, it got cut. That's why you're not going to see it, even though I said that you were going to see it. That's what I think. Also, in the past, he said Pikachu gets a special hat.
Okay.
Like I don't know if you remember, but like in December, like right after Scarlet and Violet came out, he was like, Pikachu's going to get a special hat, which he calls the Terra hats. So I think that's what that all adds up to personally.
Okay. That makes sense.
Well, then tell me this then. Like, so I don't know. I forget if I even said it on camera, but the reason why I wanted to do this is because a couple weeks ago, you guys mentioned a terrestrialization Golden Go.
Right. That would be that. Like
Is that still the Pikachu thing? Is what you're saying.
If this theory that I just said isn't true, then it would be a Golden Go and it would still be existing, which would be cool. Okay. I would take it because I want something else.
Yeah. Now I will say the thing with Golden Go that makes me think it could be just a play, because I actually saw you've made a really good case for Pikachu, being the scrapped one and that being in reference to it, but with Golden Go, for one, the surfing thing is like kind of a hidden aspect of it, right? Like it's not surfing in battle, so it would make sense to bring that out through a terrestrial form, similar to how like Mega Evolution, Dynamax, those things like brought out something in the Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I will also say too, when you're selecting, I know it's like this for faces and hands and stuff and emojis. Maybe it's not like this with little people, but like he selected a surfer emoji and he chose a gold person.
Yeah.
And I think like you can customize it to like, where it can be like your race or whatever.
That could be Pikachu too. That's true.
It could, but also Golden Go is a little.
You say gold, but it's yellow.
Yeah, yellow, gold, whatever. I mean,
yellow, gold, whatever.
It's an emoji. Yeah, I mean, I want it to be that. I really do. I'd rather that than a surfing Pikachu, to be honest.
No, surfing Pikachu would be awesome. I would like surfing Pikachu.
But it's so random too, though. Like, why are they going to give Golden Go just a random terrestrial state? Is what it would be.
He's the 1000th Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Well, it would have to be a terrestrial state, like Ogerpon's mask kind of thing. So
the biggest question I have is like, so the only terrestrialization forms that terraforms that we know really about, they're all faces. It's like the Ogerpon faces, right? The masks. So and masks are essential to Ogerpon's design. But what I'm thinking and wondering about is, are these new terraforms, are they all going to be just a large face attached on the Pokemon, right? Soul's dancing right now for listeners.
No. I don't think so. We've talked about it before. The masks are like very specific to Ogerpon, obviously. Yeah. Then the big face masks are like for Ogerpon's like backstory kind of thing, or origins. So I don't think that at all. They would just be specific. They would be different. If there's so few, especially, like if there was one for Golden Go, it would just be based around surfing. Apparently, he would be on a giant surfboard. Maybe is what you're thinking. So something like that. Because then we also get into like Terapagos, like its final form.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to talk about with its final form. Is its final form just like really like an Ultra Necrozma that like it's literally going to be locked behind Terastal and we're never going to use it again?
That's what I'm afraid of.
I so don't want that. But that's what it would be if it's exactly like Ogerpon's mask, because we're never going to see Ogerpon's mask like ever again. Like that.
And do we have official art? We don't have official art of the terraform.
No.
So
no, we don't even have official art of Ogerpon.
I really don't.
Face.
Terapagos, I do not like the base form. I really don't.
The baby?
It's so gross.
I like the baby, but anyway, I mean, you like things, you don't like things.
You know what I think it is? Look at this right here. This is why I don't like it.
It's Shuckle.
No, its toes are shooting out backwards. I think that's why I don't like it. It's like a spider.
That's the one thing.
Well, I mean,
it's just a perspective, I think, of it.
The perspective is weird to me. I think its neck is weird. Its legs it just doesn't look right. It looks wrong.
Watch it in the
th-
anime.
and
I
that
think
might
you'd
be
like
part
it
of it.
more.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So that's the
I'm
big
just
question.
hoping,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
What
really
pa-
hoping that it's not like form that you can't use ever again, because
Yeah.
Ku is saying like it's like more epic. The battle is epic, so I'm expecting it to be kind of more like an epic design.
Which would be
I'm
cool.
hoping. I mean, like Ultra Necrozma and Eternatus, like both of their next forms were very different than their base forms, you know. So I think,
different.
yeah, I think it should be something like that. People are just saying it's going to be the drawing in the Heath book. I'm like, that's like literally just Terrestrial Terapagos with the crown.
Yeah.
I mean, Game Freak can do anything. Don't get me wrong, but you know,
I mean, you'll
I'm
get
hoping
some
it's
like TCG art at least.
yeah, yeah.
It is like kind of beautiful. It's like so crazy of a design.
This is a whole nother Pokemon. And I mean, if we get that and it's still locked, I'll be okay because I just like the designs.
Yeah.
But it's sad that I'll never be able to use it again until like whenever,
That's true.
you know.
I mean, hopefully they get a little bit better about that, right?
I have a theory that it's not going to be the same as Ogerpon's Mask. I think this is just me, but I think that it's a proper third form because when you look at the data mine, so like a lot of these leaks are mostly about the data mine too. Even Ku's riddles, like so much of it is based in the data mine. Like I think that okay, so in the data mine, the third form is a literal form. It's not like Ogerpon's Mask where
Oh, it's a form.
yeah, it's an actual third form that Terapagos gets.
So that would suggest that it regular form
right, that it
is
changes.
a form. All three are things that you can have in your party. Wow,
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's what I think. That's my theory. But then at the same time, you've got Ku saying like that it's that third form is the 19th type, like that it uses the 19th
Well,
type.
could it be like no, but that would be the same thing. A Terraform would be the same as a Gigantamax form would be the same thing as a Mega form if it's only
Yeah.
in battle. Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that this might be one Pokemon that always has the 19th type. What do you think? Like if in the future game, let's say like in Gen 10,
this was Lumi's theory.
we could. If it is, I haven't heard it. I don't
No,
think, but
that all legendary, a lot of legendaries could have their own typing.
No,
Oh, yeah,
no,
yeah.
that's not my theory. I said just Terapagos. You took it and you made it and everyone told you it was a bad idea.
I think it's a good idea. Ultra
Well,
Necrozma should be Cosmic type.
It should be light type. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, what I'm thinking is exactly Lumi's theory then, is that what if in Gen 10, Terapagos has these three forms, and in its third form, it always has the 19th type forever and always. Like in every future generation, it has 19th type. It's the only Pokemon that has that type for the rest of its existence.
That would be
basically.
amazing.
That'd be cool.
That would be amazing.
That's what I'm thinking.
The only tricky thing would be like, okay, when there is a new type, what is it? The 20th type? Right?
They might have to do that.
Yeah, technically.
Because they already named this one.
Well, and also in a way, that's kind of what you'd want too if you're the Pokemon company, right? Because you get them marketed as the 20th type.
Yeah.
That's a lot better than the 19th type, right?
And they did officially call
Dusty,
it.
you know, we were talking about earlier the value of the number 30 over 27.
Yeah, we were.
You know?
Yeah. Gen 10, 20th type, 30 Pokemon.
Right.
Yeah, we were saying.
I mean,
that.
when they do like new types too, they don't really name them. They like number them.
No,
I
yeah.
mean, you know,
Fire type
and
isn't
they're
like the 4th type.
When Fairy type came out, they weren't like, oh yeah, this is the 18th type.
Yeah, the focus
This
is
is
on the
it.
fact that it's a new type. But
But
it's
that's
I'm
my
curious.
Terapagos stuff. I think I'm just like hoping.
Yeah.
Like I want to be able to use it forever.
Well, because the big question is, like, I feel like it has to look like this, right? Or
Well,
is it
that's what people think, but
or
I'm
is
just
this
like,
just
this is just
Terapagos?
Terapagos. To me, it's
like the
Nah, it's a little different from Terapagos.
the
I
body's
think.
here. It's got the fluff. It's exaggerated.
It's clearly, yeah, like depiction of like
Sure, like
extreme
the
and
royal
it's
three
and the
things.
shining crystal at the top of like the core of its body is this like crown. type
Yeah.
thing. I do see
this
it.
is what like Heath saw, you know, like it was, if it even was Heath, yeah, I think it was. But so like, you know, it was meant to be ambiguous, especially for us. When we first saw that thing, what were people like? We were like, we don't even know what this is. Is it a turtle?
Yeah.
Is it You know, like people didn't know, and I think they did it on purpose so that you wouldn't know what Terapagos looked like before it was actually revealed.
But Hoops,
You know?
Hoops knocked it out of the park. Like this would be incredible, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it's all right.
I think this is cool. What I don't think would be there, I don't think there'd be like a globe. But you're right.
Yeah.
It is just kind of more of a. It's just more Terrapagos.
Well, no. So we know from the data mine that it gets a Terra shell. Like it's called a battle state. So I don't know what it is. It's a move or a form.
I think they
or whatever.
said battle state is what Ogrepon's forms are.
Right. So it's
Okay.
related to that.
States.
So I think that that's the Terra shell, and it's protecting the hidden treasure in there. That's like this is. It's the guardian protector of the hidden
Guys,
hidden
how
treasure,
cool would it be if like all of a sudden, right at the climax of the game, Terrapagos. I'm sorry, I'll say it like that so you stay with me. Terrapagos.
Log off.
Yeah, Terrapagos. So at the end of the game, right near Area 0, Terrapagos has created this force field to protect whatever's inside of Area 0, right? And we have to navigate throughout wherever we are, right? But you can see above in the overworld, like the shell of Terrapagos, right? And to feel its size and the pure magnitude of this Pokemon in this state, right? And then you finally break through and you solve it and you become best friends, yada yada, right? But that would be so cool, so cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's epic because the bottom line is it could just end up being the same turtle. I just don't think it will be, but. If that's the case, then
So
then I still want to be able to use it in the future. Like,
no, I totally agree.
Don't lock forms. I just made a tweet today about how Eternamax should be like.
Don't lock shinies. Don't lock forms. Right. That is the core issue of the national decks. Right. People just want to be able to use the Pokemon that you've introduced to us. Right. I don't want to buy a plush. I want to use it in the game.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty rough.
I have been reminded that I thought a yawn was coming on, but it wasn't. I have been reminded that Ku pause for dramatic expense. But he seems to be implying that like this game or this DLC, and Soul you tell me if you're getting a different interpretation. But this DLC will paint a clear picture or a clearer picture of what next year's game is like. Because I had mentioned like something about Pokemon fans are going to be celebrating on December 14th. And he said, no, they'll just be looking forward to what comes out in 2024. And that
I just think that has a lot to do with what the contents of the DLC will probably be. But you keep going.
I think you're saying you think it's him saying that's small.
Not even that it's small, but just maybe underwhelming. Like overall.
The DLC would be underwhelming.
He's been very positive about this DLC. I don't think that he thinks it is underwhelming.
He loves.
I feel like it will be small.
He does, but he tells straight up when he hates something.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
If they're hiding stuff, there could be some more in the DLC, and they're obviously hiding like the climax of the story. But like there also have been leaks of what the plot is going to be, and I won't say it, but. And I don't even know it fully, but I'm pretty sure it's not that big. I've seen a couple data mines, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I feel like this is going to feel like the Battle Simulator DLC, right? There's going to be a little bit of a story. You get some new Pokemon. And then,
I wouldn't go that far.
And then we wait until November.
I think the plot is going to be good and intense.
Yeah. I do think, though, there's kind of two plots, right? Like, there's the plot at Blueberry Academy, and then there's the plot when you return to Area 0.
Yeah.
So
yeah, those are the main ones. There's also more from what we've heard.
There's like subplots and stuff. I mean, there seems to even be stuff that'll take place in Kitakami and give you a reason to go back there.
Yeah. Okay. So there's a lot of good. It seems like good. So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe you're right, But
I will say, on that note, we did get a very happy note about next year's games. They have long been speculated to be something
that was huge, by the way. I don't know if anyone covered it. You should just ask him, bro. You should just ask him questions all the time because he likes.
Dude, I know when I ask, he answers me sometimes.
Wait, Lumi, what is this?
What is what?
What are you about to say? What are you saying?
Oh yeah. So I don't remember the context of why I asked. But here we go. I've got it right here, so I'll read it to you. So he said something about how Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl were, crappy. Except he didn't use crap. And then I said, and he said each new Pokemon game should let me experience something new, but this game didn't do this, referring to Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
Okay.
And so I took the opportunity. I said, let's just hope it doesn't happen again. And Ku said, never, ever, possibly. And I said, best tweet I've read all year. And he said, the Pokemon Company was not quite pleased with what Ilka had done to the brand.
Yeah.
So
wow.
That would at least imply to me that the Unova games are not being developed by Ilka.
That's interesting. Yeah. Wait. So what was that last thing? He's saying. I mean,
He's saying the Pokemon Company was.
We're assuming he has that
with
insight.
what Ilka. Yeah. I mean, come on, he does. But he said the Pokemon Company was displeased with what Ilka's done to the brand, and that could span outside of Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl too. Our friend Jordan is always posting about the bugs that appear in Pokemon Home, which is Ilka's project they handle. Also, there were things that were messy, like not only was Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, did it get a lot of negative reception, but then there was the fact that they made a game that was not compatible with Pokemon Home, another game they made. And then there were all those issues of, having to release that, and the release, we didn't get Pokemon Home for Legends Arceus and Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl till well after Legends release.
Yeah.
Then we didn't get it for Scarlet and Violet till well after,
triggering.
we got it almost in June. And remember, there was even that bit, right, where they said, hey, the DLC dropped, or the home update drops on Thursday. And we were like, yes. And then they go, we put the Mudsdale above we put the card above the Mudsdale.
I totally forgot about that. Bro, that was so bad.
Basically, Ilka has, and, so their thing is, Ilka has literally made us look bad every opportunity they've had to make us look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
that
doesn't mean that
nice.
Ilka's gone, but it means that Ilka is not our developer of the Black and White remakes or whatever you.
That means we could still get. Well, that's actually cool. That means they could still be working with another third-party company to make a similar style of remake. Because I think conceptually, to outsource the remakes, I'm fine with that as long as Game Freak is focusing on a return to the region in a unique way. Like, I think that's a fair trade-off. But that's exciting to think that they could be working with a different development company and actually bring that dream of mine and bring that concept to life. I like that a lot, right?
Or better still, they don't work with a third company and they get EWOW the GOAT to do it.
Possibly.
I feel like it'd be better if he just worked on like another Legends game. Yeah. I think Legends is gonna be his thing if they continue with Legends games, because we don't really know if that's a thing.
They do, but their sales were worse than Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearls.
Yeah, but we've discussed this before.
They actually updated them, so.
Lumi this morning, in fact.
Yeah, Lumi saw this today where they
updated the sales figures.
Yeah.
What are they?
So they're not that bad though, Lumi. I don't know if
they're not bad, but they're still lower than Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Which obviously there's a lot of factors.
There's a lot of factors. It wasn't Listen, Legends Arceus was not a holiday release. Legends Arceus only had one game. Those are two things that I feel like could at least double.
You're missing the third, maybe biggest thing.
What?
Just less than 1 month after Legends Arceus release, they dropped the reveal of the Gen 9 game.
So no one's gonna buy it. Dude.
This is all true. But at the same time, it's not even that far off. The main thing is, why is Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl that high? If you look at all of the others, it's like...
Because they had nostalgia. People had nostalgia.
Why is this here?
The concept of a remake like that is fine. I think it's totally fine. That's half the reason why people buy remakes, right?
Yeah.
And the other half is so we can reimagine a region. And that is what Game Freak needs to focus on, but not in the form of a remake. So that's really interesting insight.
Yeah, I'm surprised that not many people have been covering Lumi's little comment there, because it's actually huge.
Yeah.
It's like, Ku gave us the original Soup Original Taste, right? So that's probably coming.
Yes.
That's probably coming.
Yeah.
But then he says this about Ilka, that what did he say? Never again, possibly?
He said never, ever, possibly, and then said,
never, ever again, or possibly, or none of the above.
Said, well, but the important thing is, he said never, ever, possibly. He wouldn't say, he knows who's developing next year's game, So it does mean not next year. You know what I mean? Because you wouldn't say never ever possibly if they're developing next year's game.
Sure.
You know?
So never ever, but then it's like, well, they could do Gen
possibly
6
like
remakes.
right now the plan is never ever, but there's always a chance that Gen 10 they're like, you know what, Ilka?
Sure.
We understand. Crap
We'll give
happens.
you your 10th chance.
Make Johto, you know.
Or maybe that's what does he say? Does he phrase stuff like that? Maybe to just like be like, it's speculation. I don't know.
I think it's just like English second language stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that it's not.
But then he said TPC was not quite pleased with what Iruka, which is the Japanese pronunciation of Ilka, had done to the brand, and he put a little upside down smiley face emoji, you know, the one.
Yeah. So that does highly
I can try to replicate it. Hang on.
Well,
that highly suggests that we're gonna get, which we've talked about on this podcast multiple times, the same kind of game but developed by somebody else.
Yeah, which I'm down for. That sounds really
if
nice.
It's Namkai I can never get
if it is
Bando
Bandai Namco.
Bandai, that's it. Bandai Namco.
Yeah. If it is them, then I will cry tears of joy.
Right? That's your Pokemon Snap dream.
Yes, it is. Which reminds me, in today's video, we should remind these two to play new Pokemon Snap. Thank you for bringing this up, Soul.
I thought he really had to go.
No.
I was like,
I'm tired of hearing it.
Well, he does it every episode. So it's fair that he's doing it every episode. I'm thinking for Christmas.
You're the one who brought up. I didn't say new comments. Did I say new Pokemon Snap? Soul brought it up.
Christmas is right around the corner, man. You never know what the kind of magic's gonna happen.
I was serving it up to you. You know, just there you go.
For what?
Which I guess we should go ahead and roll the little Patreon ad thing.
If you're enjoying this episode, please consider supporting Hidden Power on Patreon or YouTube channel members. Right now, we have 4 tiers, and the lowest membership starts at just $5 a month. Supporters get access to our secret Discord server and help control the direction of the podcast. Supporters also get access to our archive of bonus episodes.
Okay, so our Discord, honestly, is popping. We have other creators in there, too, which is kind of fun. It ain't just the 3 of us. We're discussing leaks when they drop. We talk about news. We'll be talking about how Soul Silver Art has, just garbage takes.
It's so much fun.
It's a place for us to connect.
I'm in there every day. Also, we have revamped our merch store. So proud of every product that is in this store now. We have stickers, t-shirts, mugs, ball caps, right? The dad caps. These ball caps are embroidered. Look at this. It's literally an embroidered.
So clean.
You cannot get anything more high quality than that.
I just got news. Do y'all hear that? Soulbasaur says that he even has his own merch.
I'll talk for him. It's beautiful. Very cool designs. You guys should check it out.
Very Japanese style.
Even the front of the shirt has a unique logo.
I'm getting one for sure.
If you're invested in this show, invest in the show. Thank you so much for watching, and now back to the video. So welcome back, guys. What we want to talk about now, right? And I think this is part of the conversation. What is going on with a new Nintendo Switch console, right? That's been in the rumor mill for 2 years, it feels like.
Dude, 2 years?
And
try like 5.
Yeah, forever, right? And I feel, and so the breaking news, right, which isn't really that breaking at the time of watching this, but it's new to us, right, is this new patent that is very like undeniably real. This is a real patent. Whether or not a new Switch could look like this, that's a different question, because patents are created, filed all the time, and even the original Switch patent looks so different from what the Switch is.
It's also important to note that public patents for hardware, if I'm not mistaken, those are only released when it's scrapped.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
That's also what I heard. So I didn't even cover this because I was just kind of like,
well, I think it's really interesting because even though that's something that
it could hint to it though.
Yeah.
So
this is a real thing that Nintendo has developed. I think that's significant. I think what you guys are saying makes a lot of sense, right? Okay, yeah. We're gonna it gets publicly leaked or whatever because it's no longer top secret, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. But I think this is a huge window into what their mindset is, right? What they're trying to accomplish. I think something that Nintendo has probably seen a lot of success with over the years is releasing deluxe versions, right? Porting things. We were just talking about Diamond and Pearl remakes and how much money that made, even though the games are not that good. So as we go into this, and we've got some insider info from a friend, Jake from Game Explain. We got some takes, we got some original theories by him that we're going to review. But as we get into this, I really want the conversation to kind of be around, because this is what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about DS ports, right? That's what I'm thinking of. Lumi's smiling right now, but that's not even that ridiculous, right? And I didn't even say Pokemon. I said DS ports, right?
DS ports are not ridiculous.
Listen, they have the dual screen has been a fundamental element of Nintendo consoles for such a long time, right? We got the DS, right? You get the Wii U, which was a failure, and then the Switch is not dual screen, but it has dual functionality, right? It functions in two different ways. And Nintendo's always played around with, whether it's the link cable or, it's a special apparatus. You plug your Game Boy into your GameCube, and then you can like battle on the TV or project something on the TV. That's always been in their wheelhouse, right? Innovating on gameplay. So basically, we're just going to run down what this device is real quick. Because I'm still kind of trying to keep up with it. I haven't really publicly discussed it anywhere. But basically what I understand this to be is there's almost like two. So I think there's almost like two screens, or there's a base console. So right here is the top level of the screen. And you guys have seen this before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of brushed past it, to be honest, but yes.
And then this top layer is the screen, right? That's like your Switch. And this bottom layer is basically the console. That's typically the dock, right? That we typically have with a Nintendo Switch at the moment, right? And from what I understand, what this is, right? You can play it like a Switch where it's your own thing, or once you take it off, once you separate these two devices, basically your game is now automatically projecting to the TV, right? It's like through Bluetooth, through Wi-Fi, and then that essentially would allow for that dual screen functionality where you have stuff on your handheld and you're seeing stuff on the TV, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how that is, but
to like visualize it. I mean, I don't think the patent's that pretty, right? Like I don't think this isn't. I
don't even see what it looks like a case.
See, to me, I know it looks. Yeah, it kind of looks like a DS.
Yeah, like a DS.
This
case.
One looks like a DS.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is this is a patent that's it could also be a scrap 3DS for all we know. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. This doesn't necessarily have to be a scrapped Switch 2.
Okay.
Now
unless it says specifically somewhere.
Yeah, I will say as well. I think I'm just been so like there's like. That Jimmy Neutron meme where like the kid, I think his name is Shane, is talking in class and he's like, "Hey, I've got so and so," and the teacher says, "Shane, this is the 7th time you show so and so for show and tell." That's how I feel about these Switch leaks. Like,
but like, we've never actually had images. This is the 7th
time that the Switch has leaked.
But we've never had images, right? And the Switch has never actually leaked. It's just been people talking about.
I don't buy that this is indicative of a Switch 2. I feel like this is a scrap patent of an old DS.
The only thing
it says right up here. It says Japan 2022, so it's new. That's what I think.
Okay.
Maybe at one point they were working on a 3DS like successor.
Rebirth.
Yeah. No, that's another thought that I had where I was like, what if they were to almost split up, right? Like split the console and the handheld device, right? Because I'm sure they're making a lot less money. Maybe not less money because the Switch is so successful, but when they had a console and a handheld console, I feel like that's like twice the profit, right? Because it's two different markets, and now they've combined their markets. I'm not really sure, but
I don't know because they were doing so much better with the handheld. I think.
Yeah.
Because then the Wii U was whatever.
Well, they were significantly cheaper, weren't they?
Yeah, that was great. Imagine buying Pokemon games for $30 again.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I mean that's also
Pokemon games for $35.
That's pre-inflation as well, but.
Yeah,
it is, but they at 60 now.
It'd probably be 40.
It's gonna be 70 soon. Yeah, it was like $40. Yeah.
What in Tears of the Kingdom? $70.
It was, yeah. I think everything's gonna be on this device.
Oh man.
So it looks like it slides up like a sidekick. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
it slides up.
What I think the patent is that it separates.
Exactly.
I think it separates. Like when you have your dock, right? We all have I have one right here. You can't see it, but I have a Switch dock, and you put the Switch in the dock. But instead, I think it's all one thing, and then once you separate it, it like projects on your TV or something. I might be confusing that. Let me. Is
that not the Wii U? I never had one, so
the Wii U. There were two separate things, and there was no there was no Wi-Fi transmission. Anyways, I might be mixing up. So here, let me read to you what Jake wrote me. All right. Jake says he's got a whole thing about this. So I think the Switch 2 will have dual screen functionality, but it won't look like a dual screen handheld. Instead, imagine a Switch docking to your TV through wireless HDMI. Think like a Chromecast or what the Wii U gamepad was basically doing. This way, the Switch can be used on one screen and the TV as another. I think there could be a secondary device, see the new patent, that tries to recreate this functionality without a TV for when you are on the go. So now you have a Switch that can do everything it could do on the TV, two screens, just without the TV.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Hot take.
It is a Wii U.
Yeah,
what
I was
is
about
a
to
Wii U?
say, hot take.
No,
this
it is
a Wii U.
It is a Wii U. It's a Wii U, but you can do it in your hand, I guess, too.
Hot take.
Saying do it in your hand is freaking hilarious. What's your hot take?
My hot take is that if this is remotely indicative of what the Switch 2 could possibly be like, the Switch 2 will be Nintendo's next commercial failure after the Wii U.
No, listen, guys. The Wii U is just a console version of the DS. That's literally all it is. I think the problem with the Wii U had to do with a lot more than just the hardware or the idea. I think the idea was good. I think it's the hardware that was bad. I think there was like marketing issues if I'm remembering correctly. But I think the idea has always been there, and I think this.
Now, I think this is from what you're describing. This to me sounds like a Switch that, to quote my good friend Soul here, you can do with your hand.
Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna go there. But like, I was just gonna correct you, but I don't want to.
Oh yeah, do it in your hand, or do it with your hand, or whatever it was.
Anyway, look, it is a Wii U. What Jake was saying is it's a Wii U. Let's just go back though. This is definitely scrapped. So the whole idea is that the exciting part is they could be taking a dual screen Switch 2. Like that's what we're looking at. Like a dual
screen. The article even says it. This thing looks a little too much like the Wii U gamepad for our liking.
Yeah, but just because we don't like the current idea of a Wii U because the Wii U was a bad execution doesn't mean whatever
trauma.
Yeah, exactly.
People have trauma.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. But listen, why would you do something so closely related to your?
Because it's a good idea. The DS was because the DS was one of their best successes.
It does make sense because if you want to do two screens, then you could do it this way, where the TV serves as your one screen, and then the console in your hand serves as the other screen. Okay, but that's literally the Wii U. But like,
yeah,
another idea I heard was like,
so instead of the Go as well, where you could flip it up and you have both screens.
Oh, so the Wii U couldn't be played on the go. It was still a console, just with
right. It was attached to your TV. Like you could not go. It was
does
not
sound like a dumb idea. How'd that get to the market?
And the software the hardware was so like bulky. It's just
whoever did that left and went to Riverbank Zoo and did their Halloween decoration.
The reason was it was a different time, Lumi. You know, like they were getting advanced to this stuff, but like they hadn't gotten to these points.
And then I also like the idea. I've heard this before. Like instead of sharing a Joy-Con, now you can share an entire screen. Or you can share your entire Switch. You know. So again, this is really just comes down to like a cool idea. Obviously, I think you guys are right. This is probably scrapped patent, right? Jake wrote something else here. I asked him. Oh yeah, so he says it could even be a 2-tier device type thing where the base model looks like a Switch, and then the Pro model or whatever gets you that second screen. It's also important to note that they can do DS games on one screen already. I was asking him about the DS. He said that they had it totally figured out on the Wii U, so those games could totally come back, even if the next system still only does one screen. That's true, because then they could port so many DS games, so many 3DS games.
Can we port PictoChat?
Dude. Oh my. Dude. Yes. Mm-hmm. Dude, that'd be so much fun. Can we port Nintendogs?
No, I was dead serious.
PictoChat's so much fun, dude. PictoChat's sick.
When that came out, it was huge. It was crazy.
PictoChat was the thing.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I think it's exciting to look at this. And again, the main reason why that it gets me excited is if they're going, because the biggest thing that's been like just like confusing me. I'm like Game Freak could either do two things in the future, right? They could continue to port games, which limits them to probably Generation 4, which they just remade.
Continue to port games. They don't port games.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what they should do.
They need to port some games, but there's an issue when it comes to the dual screen. Because I don't think you can't easily port a game that's native on with two screens, right? So then
why can't you? Would you not just like?
Can.
You're saying port a 2-screen game to a 1-screen?
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Okay,
right?
I got you. Okay. I thought you were saying 1 screen to a 2-screen.
No, that works.
They can just do a little.
Yeah,
they can just do a little bit of work and like rework things into menus.
Dude,
you know
charge me for it. I don't care if you want to release me the Pokemon DS games at a shoot. I'll pay $60 for all of them.
Bro, I'll pay
gold
for all
diamond,
of them.
Platinum, black, white. Yeah, $60.
$60 for each of them.
No, I'm saying for like a bundle. Like
you're not getting that.
Like a Pokemon
You're not getting that. That's sure. I'll take them for free. They're not gonna let that slide. I would probably pay. I'd pay a lot of money, dude, for some of these games. But
do $60 per generation. So like $60 we get Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver.
Well, listen, if they're gonna be doing
$60 we get Black, White, Black 2, White 2.
Yeah, I would probably pay for each of them individually. I definitely would. I would pay.
They would force us to as well.
I wouldn't 60 though. I don't think maybe I would for some of them.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Like
some of them.
If they're gonna port them and then make edits, they're gonna not port it. They're gonna remake it, right? And
make it home
compatible. That's where you get your
BDSP,
right? You get your BDSP. You get the Gen 5 remakes. You have to remake all these games. So the way forward is one of those two things.
I absolutely would take it. Like where I can like take my Sceptile that I catch.
I don't think that's gonna happen though.
And send it into Emerald. Oh heck yeah!
But I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think because that would require them to do more work, and in which case they're just gonna remake it. But
they can just leave it to Ilka. They do a great job.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. Ilka is not it. So what I think what excites me about this new Switch console or a Switch console like this with the 2 screens or however it's actually going to end up, it opens the possibility for them to actually, what you're saying, just port all the games. You don't need to remake them. So I don't know. I like it a lot. And obviously we've seen with Nintendo Switch Online, they've given us GameCube. Have they given us GameCube? They've given us Nintendo 64. They've given us Game Boy Advance. So the DS seems like the next
GameCube because they didn't port, but they re-released Mario Sunshine.
Yeah, you're right.
That was GameCube, right?
So in the future,
no, that was 64.
Yeah, so in the future they could give us GameCube games and they could also give us DS games, and that's exciting. That's really exciting. That's when you get your PictoChat.
Yeah, I think that the takeaway is just that it could be they're playing around with making dual screens, so that's exciting. But I don't think that this is exactly it. That's for sure.
No,
and I don't think that they'll redo the Wii U in any capacity because it's just a bad idea because they know it's a failed idea.
And this reaction we have to it, this trauma, right? I think I could say, oh, you're being dramatic, but if the majority of the population is like, you already tried that, it's not good, then people aren't going to buy it, and it won't do well. No. The Switch was a fresh idea, which got people excited.
I think that it's going to be more towards the Switch. Like they're going. I even heard that it's supposed to be called like a Super Switch. That's it. Like Super Nintendo, Super Switch. Like that would be a good. That would be a good name for me. Yeah, like just Super Switch. So some way of they would still be incorporating the Switch. Kind of thing.
The identity of a Switch is the docking functionality.
Yeah,
right?
That's still going to be there. Like
the Switch, you dock it and you also take off the Joy-Cons. Whatever this new thing's going to be, it could be you take it out and then it's project. I love what Jake said, where you take it out to do handheld, you press a button, and then all of a sudden you're in the dual screen mode. I think that would be seamless. And then the handheld,
literally the Wii U, bro. But
but the Wii U's not that. The Wii U's not that. It's not.
I didn't hate the Wii U. I was not one of its haters. It was just the games that were on it were not great.
Right.
Yeah. So the last thing I will say is that one thing that I have heard repeatedly is the main thing about this system, and especially why it would be called like a Super Switch, is because the graphics and performance and all of that is supposed to be like PS5 levels.
Didn't they say?
I think that that's what the biggest thing.
PS5, is that, just so I have context, is that what Spider-Man's on?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It's
like,
going to be a new Spider-Man game starring.
Let's take it back a little bit and just be like, this is Nintendo. Okay, This is Nintendo. I would not expect it to be as good because I just don't. But they're going to try. They're going to make an attempt. That's what I've heard multiple times. I don't know if it's completely true, but I that's what I lean towards. That I think that if it's a Super Switch like that, I don't know if there'll be 2 screens, but the main thing will be the docking and the switching from docking, and then the performance will be out of this world good, and like that's what they're really doing. And I think that would be epic.
They
that's
get
what it
you
needs.
out to handle Gen 10 on that. We would be
for Pokemon we'd be like in heaven.
Mwah.
Hopefully,
unless
they don't know how to handle it.
No,
but I think
they'll give it to Omori and it'll.
Bro, they have been working with this system, whatever it is, already now for a long time. Yeah. No doubt. They're already working on Gen 10 right now. There's no excuse now. Like, they're definitely working
Gen 10, you realize Gen 10, like, they have the full Pokemon roster, probably.
Oh, dude, wow.
Yeah. But they're working with the new system, no doubt. Like,
isn't that crazy to think about? Like, they are very aware of what our Gen 10 starters are.
That's insane, dude. That's really cool. So, so Jake has a prediction here. He thinks most people think fall 2024, but he thinks it could be announced, turned around pretty easily early next year. So in a couple months, he's thinking.
I do agree with that.
March, April.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with that because I've literally known about this system for over a year. So it's been in development for that long.
Well, and longer
not even
than
known
that, because
not even I mean, not even known about the system, but known about it having a reveal. That's what I mean. Like it being revealed. Like it was supposed to be revealed a long time ago. So it's just being polished, I think.
Do you think it was COVID or other stuff that pushed it back?
I don't think it was COVID because I think they've just been working on it. I don't know what pushed it back, but I think they've been working on it in general because a while back the president was like, we're like halfway through the Switch's life cycle. Yeah. But what's crazy is like, PS5 and like Xbox, they're like almost on the they're almost about to double lap them. Yeah. Nintendo. Mm-hmm. Like they're almost about to be like
the PS6 or whatever.
We're gonna be like PS6 is coming out like a year after the new Switch comes out, and they'll be like two generation consoles behind.
I heard a long time ago, months ago, maybe weeks, maybe days, I don't know. I heard
big difference.
At one point I heard about it was earlier today. I heard that the Switch 2 has some sort of proprietary whatever in it that could like flawlessly upscale things. So if you're playing whatever game from the N64 or whatever it is, it'll just like up-res it to 1080 or whatever the native.
That sounds like a dream to me, but I don't.
Yeah, that sounds like more like a fan fiction than a.
Why? I mean, it's AI.
Once it's just too good to be true,
just do AI. Oh, that won't be controversial.
Once it's too good to be true, then I don't know anymore.
So, and the reason why I really wanted to bring this up because the Switch 2 is exciting, right? It is a new console. It means a new path forward, a new frontier for Pokemon. If honestly, I think. Because what I'm thinking about is if the Switch comes out at the end of the year next year, it's like that would probably mean whatever the new Pokemon game is in November 2024 is probably just going to be on the current Switch that we're using.
The November 2024 game is going to be on the Switch. Okay. Next year's Pokemon game will be on the Switch.
I think that'll be the last one. If they don't, it depends on Jake's thing there.
If the Switch comes out in April or March, the new game, listen, the Gen 5 remakes could very well be on that new Switch because you have a whole year to buy it. You have a whole year.
It could be, but you have to think that Pokemon is typically a little bit slower at getting their game onto the console,
but this
right?
actually ties
no.
back into what we've been talking about, because literally if they do like a release in like May, let's say they announce it, I don't know. I was thinking they would announce it in April and then release it in like the middle of the summer or the end of the summer or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. If they did that, you basically have to have your new game come out on the new console. I wouldn't expect it to be on the old console.
Think about Let's Go Pikachu
But
and
you
Eevee.
would
Oh,
also
wait.
have to.
These guys, whoever's working on this black and white remake or whatever, who like since it might not be Ilka, they've probably been working on it for a while, and they could have been using the new hardware for it. It's very possible because we know that they are already working on games on the new hardware.
Yeah.
Like that is
Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee released after Gen 7 before the actual new generation.
It would be epic too.
If there's a lot of ties to Scarlet and Violet, and there's been a lot to suggest there could be, then I would imagine they'd want to keep it on the same console, Scarlet and Violet, to keep it simple. But the bigger thing is, would they not have to announce this console before Pokemon Day? Because you can't announce a game for a console that hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah, that's true.
Why not? Why couldn't they just hype us with the game and be like, guess what? We're gonna have some news.
Because it's gonna be too obvious if they don't say it's for the Switch, and then people. Do they normally say console. That? Yeah, every trailer begins with a.
Yeah, that's true.
There is a world where they don't do that, and then we would be heavily thinking that that's what they were suggesting. And by what I mean by that is they just like show us a trailer of this new game, but they don't ever say what. They did that with
Scarlet and Violet, right? They gave us like a live action trailer, and then they showed us just like scenery, like awful scenery. Of
but it still had the switch click at the beginning.
Did it?
Probably. I don't know, but I'm just saying there's a world where they could do it.
Or on what if on Pokemon Day they're like, we want to tell you something in March.
Well, now that said,
like come back for a Pokemon Presents.
There's usually a Nintendo Direct beginning of February.
Yeah,
so you could do Switch 2 reveal February, early February, Pokemon reveal.
Generation 10.
It wouldn't be Gen 10.
Yeah, I think we can say with certainty Gen 10 is not releasing next year.
Full certainty.
That's crazy.
It does make me excited though, because I would be excited for a black and white remake made by
a new company, Bandai
Namco, on a brand new Switch that performs close to what maybe the PS5 is like. Yeah, then that would be like
Pokemon. Like following
would be
Pokemon
good,
in the
but
overworld.
So remember that bit you said a minute ago about if it sounds too good to be true?
I know, but
I can see that.
They can hype us up, and we're speculating here. This is not confirmed, people. This is literally just our dreams and hopes that is about to be crushed into nothingness when we get a BDSP remake.
When he's online tonight, I'm gonna ask Koo if the next games will be on the Switch.
He's gonna be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, he's gonna be like, "Aww."
But yeah, that's a dream scenario. I can see it happening, but Lumi does make a very good point that they might not have announced the new Switch by then.
Even if they do, again, Pokemon has a track record of being a little bit later to the consoles.
So that is true.
But this is already later. We are way later.
What about the possibility?
Like they will be last to get on Switch 2. Like typically there's already been like a bunch of mainline games on the console before Pokemon gets on there.
There would be though.
The Switch was out when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon were out.
There would be though, because
remember Stars, people thought Stars was going to come out on the Switch.
Yeah, that's true. That's
if they reveal the new console in February and then they release it in May, then there would be months that there would be other games that would be on the console.
But only months. Usually Pokemon's like a year plus.
What if
I feel like
again, the Switch was already out when did the Switch come out? The Switch came out, let's see.
Yeah, you're right about that. But the reason it's like that though is because that was a handheld system though, Lumi. It was different.
March 3rd,
but you are right.
March 3rd, 2017. So Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon came out in 2017 November.
Like 5 months.
And then you had 5 months later, it comes out, or In fact, 8 months later, it came
Let's
out.
Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Then Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was on the Switch the next year. So it had been out for a year and 8 months.
Yeah, that's true. That's a really good point.
I don't think it's always... The only reason it's always been like that, though, is just because they were two different systems. And I mean, maybe it could continue
Yeah, that's true.
But
no, Soul.
Well,
Soul. Wait, Lumi, that's a totally good point, Soul, because
the 3DS was still thriving,
and
at
they
this
had
point.
and they had no experience with 3D models, which is like the whole last decade has been like insanity.
Yeah,
not 3D models, but like.
But then
HD
you look at the
games.
3DS too. The 3DS came out in Japan February 26th. For the US, it was
what day?
March,
What day?
March 27th, 2011. We didn't get our first Pokemon 3DS game
The 3DS
until
came out?
October 2013.
Oh wow. I will
So
say
that was over 2 years later.
But there was also a separation there with their like international release dates. That was also an
No.
issue.
It came out just a month later. It was February 26th for Japan, and it was March 27th for America.
Yeah,
I will say one more thing in the positive camp here until I go to Lumi's side. They also, in recent years, have like upped like productivity with Pokemon, and especially being
they went from handheld 2D games.
No, but like being related to Nintendo, I mean. So like they moved into like Nintendo's thing, and like the way that they make Pokemon is different now than it was back then.
Yeah, I would not count it out. I'm just saying historically. Now y'all know I've said time and time again on this podcast, and I'll keep saying it. Patterns are only patterns until Game Freak breaks them.
Yeah.
But I am leaning like with especially my big thing. This isn't like a gimmick ties to Scarlet and Violet. I feel like it would
I don't
be
think
on the same console.
Yeah, this isn't a gimmick pattern. This is like a hindrance.
I also think too, Pokemon knows they're a big holiday sale, and like because here's the thing for me, I probably will not get the Super Switch until
there's a Pokemon
Christmas of if it comes out. If it comes out in spring of next year, I won't get it until Christmas of next year.
I'm gonna buy
Christmas 2024. Well, the issue is if Pokemon has released a game, I think Pokemon likes to release a game after there has been a Christmas that it has been out.
Yeah, I think that's
because then parents are only buying a game; they're not buying a console.
Yeah. I get it. And I am more on your side, Lumi. I definitely, the dream scenario is beautiful, but to me, it seemed like what they would do is definitely release the remake on just the regular Switch. Even if there's a new console out, they would just do it just because that's what they have planned, and that's it.
I had the idea that they
benefit would be Gen 10 releases 2025, and you release a Let's Go Pikachu Eevee style Switch like they did with that. You do a Gen 10 style
new console, new generation, the whole kit and caboodle.
It's very, very
I'd probably get that.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I think the only other possibility, because I think Soul's point is accurate, right? I think the only other thing that could possibly happen is they actually they release, or they pretty much make the black and white remake compatible with both Switch like versions.
I mean, that is an option too.
Because if it's a remake, like I think BDSP, what is it, on Unity, that could run on anything. That's not like a complex thing, right?
Sure.
And we've seen Nintendo do that with a lot of Zelda games, but I don't think we're getting a big Zelda game right now. I think
that is the point, though, too.
Whatever it's called, the Tears of the Kingdom was gonna probably be align with whatever the new Switch release date was gonna be, right? And they probably have a version of Tears of the Kingdom for
if this is third party, would the Pokemon Company want their first
that's another good
mainline game on the new Switch to be done by a third party and not Game Freak?
Yeah, because if it's as bad as BDSP, just like what you're saying about like having a bad rep, right? You're allowing another company to be the face of your brand,
right? They're in the driver's seat. They will decide what your impact on this console.
Dude,
here's the thing.
BDSP was the first Switch game. People would be like, "This is garbage." Let's Go was like kind of controversial to be the first Pokemon game,
it was also
still good.
Yeah, and it was also Game Freak, so Game Freak had control. They can at least be satisfied with the decisions they made.
Imagine
Niantic made it. That'd be god awful.
Oh no. Listen, there's two things with this. What you're saying, Lumi, is definitely true.
Oh, I love that. But dude. I love that.
It's true.
Gen 10. Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it maybe
I'm just excited.
No, I know. It's funny. It's just true that they could do that. I lost what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry. I'm just excited.
It's all good.
Gen 10, 30th
Oh well.
anniversary, Switch 2. Oh,
There's
it's
just
perfect.
Oh, I know. I was gonna say they did have Game Freak involved with Ilka's game. Like, I'm not saying that they are
Yeah,
not. They
Yeah,
may
but
be even more involved with this remake thing.
sure.
So there's two sides to it basically. I'm playing both sides basically. The other thing is, like, it would make sense for it. It's not like a brand new generation or a crazy game that's going to be coming out. It's literally just like almost like a port, but you're just think of BDSP and think of how easy that is to just make into like another game. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
it wouldn't
So
be hard
would
for
they
them to
would they
port
be
that
using the
onto
same
a new
engine?
system. I don't know if they made it in Unity and it's a different developer,
You're
but they
saying
did
if
it in
you're saying if the
in
Gen
Unity.
I think they'd go a different direction, like with art style, with
Yeah.
graphics.
Yes.
I'm
Yes, I
imagining
do think
like
so too.
Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, right?
That's
Where
what I'm
they're
thinking
kind
as
of
well.
chibi, but there's still like a lot of depth to the characters. The world is really interactive. You can see the models, but they're not they're
Right.
not
Or
chibi.
even like Heart Gold and Soul Silver versus Gold and Silver, where obviously there's a
Well,
lot
that
more
was
color
chibi
and
though.
vibrance, and then but they also, like I'm saying, in comparison to the original games, they added,
Yes.
the buildings were not drawn on; they had depth. You could see the dimensions of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All I'm saying is it wouldn't, to me, I don't know much about game development, but to
Nor do
me
I.
it wouldn't seem like it would be that hard for them that they've already been working on it to basically port over a black and white remake to this brand new console and make it look really good, and that's it. Like, that's
Right.
all. Their number one thing is just to make it look good. That's why Bandai
Namco?
whatever
Bandai Namco.
Bandai Namco could be the ones, because it could just be like, it's just graphics, man. It's just us doing really good graphics of this on this system.
Like, imagine an HD version of this for black and white. I would like that a lot.
And then at the same time, it's like, I think Game Freak there'll be representatives from Game Freak like closely following any kind of remake, because it is their game and everything, their IP and all that. But either way, I want to just finish it off right here by saying, if we get a new game, I'm happy. Even if it's on the Switch or the new Switch, I'm happy. I'm good. We're getting it. If we get it, then I'm like, all right.
To be honest,
gonna
I think
get
I kind
something.
of want it. I think I want it to be on the Switch because I want Gen 10 to have the extra hype of it being like it's
That
the
would be
first game.
that would
on
be
the
huge, and
Super Switch.
that makes
That's an
so
event,
much
dude.
sense.
That's an event.
It's actually crazy how
It's
much it
lining
makes
up.
sense. The problem is, like, we don't know if they're going to do the 30th anniversary thing or if they're going to do 2025 Gen 10.
I honestly listen. This is my new.
They could follow the normal pattern that they've always followed.
I think they will.
But yeah, I think they will too, because here's the thing. The normal pattern actually makes sense. You drop the game at the end of 2025, so a month later, you get to play the game and experience the game throughout the throughout the
30th anniversary.
Yeah, like, it
Not
makes
only
sense.
that, but your DLC is dropping then. Oh,
Yeah.
maybe you return to Kanto now,
Yeah. The big thing
10
then
new
is,
Charizard forms.
yeah, the big thing then is, like, what is 2024? Like,
Oh
is
no,
it really
that's
just
that's the drive.
is it really just a remake that is a third-party remake, and we don't get another Pokemon game until end of 2025?
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Like,
No,
That's what
I think
We'll be able to
it
podcast and
either
friendship.
original, super original taste. While that's the term used for Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl,
I want
I
some
could
soup.
one could make the argument that's Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire as well, right? Like it's the same story, even though it's got
you're
updates to it.
stretching, but yes, you're stretching.
But
yeah.
I think
would
so. I
hope.
think either it's a good remake that we're going to be satisfied with. It may not be groundbreaking, but we're not going to be upset with it like we were Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
Listen, if it's a
Or
if
we are
it's-
seeing the exact same thing as last time, and we're getting the third party original, super original taste in November, and then January of 2025, but also in November we'll get Gen 10. But January 2025,
That's what I was
EWOW is bringing the heat.
see,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is, like, people like us will appreciate this, but the entire community will blow up if they do what you just said. And I want them to do it. I really want that more than anything. That's what I want. For them to just literally do a BDSP remake at the end of 2024, then January do a Legends
or
Unova,
whatever it is, Paradox Unova.
Paradox
and then
Unova, yeah.
at the end of the same year in 2025 we get Gen 10. That's like it's just like
I think there's a good chance that's what they'll do.
It's
Look,
a
at the end
very
of the
good
day,
chance.
they made money that year.
Why?
Yeah.
But no, but here's the
And
thing. Why?
They split it all up into teams too, so it's not like it's impossible, not by any means. It's just not popular to most of the community because, especially because
I think if they executed it well, it could be.
Do we have any insight to suggest that like we will get those 2 games? Because I forgot that's even a consideration.
Yes, we do. We talked about it in the previous episode, but just like Ku was talking about something that.
All right, that we will get that back to back.
He was saying it was true.
Game launch.
That it could be something like that. I don't know about back to back. All he was
what
saying
it was
really
was someone on the little Chinese forums who is not credible. Ku said they are liars. They said we're going to get an authentic black and white remake, but then Paradox Unova. And
Guys,
Ku said that was a lucky guess.
Guys,
so Ku said like that's just easy to guess.
This is it. We're gonna get.
So that's what we're doing. We're just guessing here. This is not confirmed by any means. I want it to happen, but
the black and white remakes are gonna be good soup. All right. That's just
Original
a black and white.
It's gonna be good soup.
That's just a black and white remake, right? And then Paradox Unova is gonna be a Paradox version of Black 2 White 2. That's what like, and it won't. So we don't need to mess around with sequels. It's literally just a different take. It's a different sequel.
I don't know if I believe all that. But
I'm locking it in.
Bro, it's a good idea, but it is not confirmed by anything. It's other than.
I'm not saying it's like gonna happen. I'm saying that I think it's gonna happen.
Oh, okay. You can tweet it. You should.
Yeah, I know.
Paradox.
Actually, don't tweet it because I like the idea of that, and everything you tweet does not come true.
Yeah. I wonder what my track record actually is.
0%.
No,
something has been.
Some things have been true.
1%.
There you go.
You saying that? What if the Blueberry Academy was in Unova? That was huge.
Well, he didn't post that on Twitter.
I know he didn't post it, but
he said it on the podcast.
You scared me when you told me that I said it, and you didn't tell me what I said. I got nervous. I was like, shoot, like,
am I getting Soul in trouble?
Yeah, because I was like, you accidentally leaked
and
something.
you were like, can you remove that? You said something like that, like, oh, can you just like cut that out? I'm like, I don't know what it is. Or maybe that was a different video.
I think that was a different video. That was something else.
That was a different video. He worded something, and it wasn't even that he leaked something, but he worded something in a way that he was like, that sounds like I knew something that I didn't, or something like that.
Yeah. I don't want to seem like I know everything, guys. I don't.
That's honestly exciting. Like,
even though he does.
That's really exciting. I'm excited, guys.
I mean, the Indigo disc, I definitely know everything.
To play Gen 10 on a new Switch is hype. That is so cool.
And you know what's really cool too? I heard that the best place to get like the kind of just information as this stuff is going on is on the Hidden Power podcast. So, if you're watching or listening, you should like, subscribe, leave us a review on Spotify, all that fun stuff.
Absolutely. And also, we have a holiday gift that we're going to be mailing out. This is a physical holiday gift to all Patreon supporters. He is Santa Claus. To all Patreon supporters, all channel members, if you are supporting us by the end of November, whatever that last date is, we will, you also have to send us your address, so you can email us at hiddenpowerpodcast@gmail.com. We will send you a physical gift. Merry Christmas.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Really beautiful. Yeah.
I'm about it. Cookies are involved.
Cookies? Are they?
Cookies are involved.
Oh, yes.
Cookies are involved.
Soul is cooking in it. Huge shout out to our mythical tier channel members, Bramtastic, Jasco, Timothy Chu, and Trash Panda. And a special shout out to Drogain, our Arceus tier channel member. We love you guys all so much. Even the ones I didn't mention, all of you supporters, we talk to you guys all the time in the Discord. We really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
Watch this video right here.